So, welcome to a Serenity Sparks, and I am here today with the delightful Julie Gibbons from Brandiwork, brand whisperer and tech ninja, helping women in business beam out who they are brightly so they connect with their exact right audience. Welcome,
You bet.
Julie.
Thank you
So,
so much, Michelle. It's great to be here.
it is awesome to spend some time with you. So, you're, as you say, known for helping women beam out who they are so brightly. And I know from my own experience of working with you that it's a bold and energizing process. So, how do you guide someone to find that sweet spot of clarity and consistency when their ideas feel like a whirlwind of creativity? And why do you believe it's important to transform all of those scattered ideas into a strong, reliable brand style?
Well, okay, so I reckon everybody has got some kind of core qualities, which is really what they need to beam out. And it's a matter of like when I talk to them, it's always an interview process for me, and I'm really good at just reading people. I'm really good at just watching them, and I sound like a stalker. I am good at watching watching them. And just getting a feel really strong feel for their personality and pulling out kind of extracting that out of them. And it's not so much it is the words that they use, but it's just like any personality. It's like the words that they use, it's how they present themselves, and all of that kind of combined. There is something really core about who they are. And even if they have in their head stuff all over the place, I mean, that's something that even that is an idea that you can interpret as well. Like, having a bright and bubbly brand is quite possible and still be presenting in a consistent way. If you're always presenting as bright and bubbling, I mean, Leonie Dawson does this so well. Like, I mean, she's very artistically talented, not very, very, she's got a very particular style, but there's something, and she freely admits all of the things, with her, being neurodiverse and everything, and she does have so many ideas, but there's still something very core about who Leonie is, and that comes through in so much of what she does.
Yeah.
It's quite possible. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be, you don't have to just kind of let go of parts of yourself. It's a matter of figuring out what is the important things and focus on those key things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important that you love it too, isn't it? So when you're
It
drowned,
really is. It really is.
yeah. So for those of us who
So,
love immersing ourselves in that wild potentials for um, possibility, the idea of choosing one style of focus can feel like putting a leash on a wild unicorn. So you need to kind of balance
that's right.
that need for the coherent brand with the joy of exploring endless creative possibilities. And so what you love and who you are as a person is like the anchor to bringing it all together, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is. And it can be a concept that brings it all together. And it was years ago, I saw Karen Gunton speak, and I love her so much. And she spoke about what is your mission? What is your project? What is your, like, she had all these other ways of getting to that core thing of who we are. And the one word that kept on, because I'm like one of those people that I love maths, and I love all the systems, and but I love all the creativity as well. And design is like, that's my core thing. But there's all that other stuff as well. And what it came down to for me was the concept of beauty, and beauty runs through everything for me. There's always a beautiful way to do something, or a messy way, or an ugly way to do something. And it's, for me, it's even like if you're doing systems or you're trying to build a web page, there's a beautiful way of doing that or an ugly way of doing it. I can slap it together, but you want to make it, neat. You want to make it so that it performs exactly how it's supposed to. And that's what's important to me. So, I see that's my guiding light, that word of that whole concept of beauty. And it can be as simple as that. And you can pull everything in through that filter.
Yeah. Beauty is a lovely one. So I like to describe creating your intellectual property assets as in a beautiful sense, planting the seeds of your legacy and creating something that deserves to have a life beyond you. So as someone who wants to do all the things, or in Leonie Dawson's terms, to ride all of the wild donkeys, how do you decide which seeds to nurture into something that truly reflects your essence? So which of those ideas how do you choose amongst all of them?
It's really hard. It is really hard sometimes. And I'm constantly battling with that, the urge to, oh, I want to do printmaking and I want to do painting and I want to do all the things all the time. And I want to read books and I want to do all the things. But it's hard. And it comes down to I guess thinking about what's serving you best right now and trying to focus on that. Um, it's it's really hard.
Mm.
I agree. In terms of
Yeah,
yeah, intellectual. Hmm.
yeah. So do you think of your intellectual property as assets that deserve to have that ongoing life beyond you, or is it more like something the beauty, the rose that blooms and fades in a day, or the ongoing, like planting the oak tree and really creating that legacy? What do you think the difference is?
Ah, a legacy versus just living in the moment. Now, there's a
Yeah.
really interesting question, and for people who a bit of ADHD, it's very much about living in the moment, and that's
Mm.
there is that it's hard to try and focus on something that is going to have kind of a lasting effect. But I think on the flip side of that also is that I can't remember the name of the lady who was talking about these multi-passionates who said, the thing is when you do you want to dip into everything, there is also the advantage that you can pull in all these disparate ideas from all over the place and put them together in new ways. Whereas
Yeah.
someone who focuses on something that is going to be like this core thing that has a legacy, it's great, go into it deep, go deep and deeper and deeper and build this whole big column of stuff that stands out. But by the same token, there's the people who are broader, who I can pull in ideas from painting and put them together with ideas from maths and go, well, I wonder what happened with that. Put that together.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
that aspect of it too, which is brilliant. I love
Yeah.
that idea, and we need people who are innovative like that. People who put ideas together in really weird and wonderful ways that we haven't thought of yet. So, and I think
Yeah.
that's part of what we need as humanity to push us
Yeah.
forward. It's not
And I
just
actually
about the
think that
going the deep and
yeah,
there was hmm,
those
something
those
that we
those moments when we synthesize, when we take all of our disparate interests and synthesize them into something that's new and unique and original, those are actually where the best IP assets come from. I love writing licensing agreements for people
hmm
who've created that modality and they've created something that's so new and different. And then they've used it with their clients. And then they've got their clients and begging them to be able to teach that modality to other people. So they go up and they start teaching their modality to people who then go and take it to a wider audience. And then they go and teach people who train the trainers. And you create this
hmm
whole pyramid of people who are taking your message and your modality far beyond the market so you can reach yourself. And that's only possible when the modality
yeah
you've created is something that is so unique and original and specific to you that no one else could have imagined it. And it's only by allowing your
mm,
inspiration and your imagination to play in all of those different fields that you start to to see the potential and to bring all those scattered pieces together.
Yeah. It is. And I'm just thinking about you and the struggle you had early on trying to incorporate rainbows and unicorns into law.
Yeah, well, I still remember talking to
I look at
the
you now.
first so remember talking to the first person, the first branding expert I ever worked with, back when my logo was a hand-drawn little doodle of my initials, dressed up like a little circus tent that I doodled, having watched Leonie Dorfman at the time. And she said to me, okay, well, we've got to
Yeah,
settle on your brand colors. And I said, I want a rainbow. And she said, you can't have a rainbow. And I said, I want a rainbow.
that
I
doesn't
have to
fit
have a
with
rainbow.
lawyers. Yeah, well, I mean
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't fit.
true. Like that's my first thought too. But now,
And
hey, we've made it work, and it looks
we have made it
amazing.
work. It does. But underneath, like,
We
so
have
we
made it
found out ways
really
to do it.
well.
We incorporated, and both you and Emma Vega Malta, who I worked with on the original logo, and then you helped me design it and evolve it, because your branding isn't set in stone, just like a contract's not set in stone. It evolves and
That's
grows as
right.
you do and as your business grows. And so we evolved and added extra symbolism to my logo and updated it to my current business and where that was going. But we found ways to incorporate it. So the rainbow came into the background on the logo and into a texture and design that we can use
Just little
or
highlight
scatter
bits.
around the
Yeah,
place. And
yeah,
it comes
yeah.
through in all of the AI art that I create. And I'm constantly telling it,
Absolutely.
use more rainbows when I'm
Yeah,
creating
yeah.
my
And I
images.
love how it glows. Mm.
But then underneath that, we've got it pinned down into the consistent colors that we use. So I've got my brand colors as well, and they've got their own feel to them. And we spend a lot of time working on clarifying exactly what those colors and creating that palette that underlies and supports
The
and
magenta and the
grounds the
teal. Yeah,
rainbow. Yeah. And
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
it's all
Mm.
it's all different parts. Again, it's that disparate creativity all coming together into a cohesive whole that makes the brand. And you've got to have that
Yeah.
brand identity for something like that, licensing that modality and things to work, because otherwise you don't have the strength of the reputation, the visual aspect of your reputation that makes that modality cohesive, that makes people know that, this is, who is the Institute of Intuitive Intelligence? Who is the, is it just another Reiki practitioner, or is it someone who's taken Reiki and made it their own in their own style?
Hmm.
Yeah, so you've mastered blending tech wizardry with creative intuition. And I absolutely rely on you to keep the back end of my website happy and stop me going down rabbit holes and trying to fix tech stuff myself when I need troubleshooting. Is there any special tool or strategy that you swear by to help with bringing those scattered ideas into alignment, especially when crafting IP assets that need to stand out and connect with an audience?
Oh, look, I think a long time ago, I discovered the only way I can make it work for me is if I'm a big list writer. I'm a big list writer. And it's the only way I can keep my ideas in line is I have them in front of me in black and white. Because otherwise I just keep on going, oh, look at that shiny thing over there. And like I'm, 25,000 shiny things in my life every day. So
Yep.
it's really hard. So yeah, to have a list in front of me and be able to check that off and go, this is what I need to focus on right now, and have a plan. I mean, I'm good I'm good at writing plans and just ignoring them, but
Yep.
uh, but still, I think having a plan, at least, it it does kind of help you focus on things and pull them through to fruition, and knowing that there are some good ideas that you've had that you do circle around and come back to them, and work on them a little bit more.
Yeah. I love having a toy
And
box
yeah,
in Asana where, I think of it, I throw all those shiny things so that I've got a record of them. And when I come back and think,
Yeah, yeah.
what do I want to work with? I've got that toy box there.
That's right. And some of them, I think also because of the way, have a brain that moves around so much, uh, putting an idea away for a while,
Mm.
there's all that subconscious processing going on
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
background, always. And so when you come back around to it like a week later, 2 weeks later, or 3 months later, you come at it from a different direction and go, actually, here's an even better idea, or this is how I can do that now, or whatever. You bring in more ideas into it and come up with an even better solution. Or you'll just go, oh, well, that was a load of hooey anyway. I don't remember what it was about. So you can just start it as well.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
those ideas you come up with, with when you're dreaming and you dream something, you go, that's so fabulous, I've got to write this down. And you wake up and go, actually, that was pretty stupid. What was I thinking?
Yeah, yeah. But at least,
Mm,
when if you don't have somewhere to write it down and keep a record of those IP asset ideas and creative ideas, a you it splits your attention, like that feeling of waking up from a dream and trying desperately to grab onto and hold the remnants of that idea so that you can run with it. Um, the more of those threads you've got, and the more scattered your focus is, and the harder it is for you to actually put aside time to take focused action on creating the things you want to do. Um, and so setting aside that time to, having the place to brain dump the ideas so that you can get them out of your head, and it's safe. They're not going to run away anywhere. I've corralled them in a place where the wild donkeys can wait for me until I'm ready to ride them. But
mm,
also, setting aside the time to work on the things that you really do want to progress. I know I'm trying to create a quiz, and I've been working on it
yeah.
for months and months and months. And if I don't really clarify for myself how important that is to me, even if it's in my calendar, I'll just keep moving it on and moving it on and moving it on, and it becomes a future me's thing. But that's, in a way, it's postponing your own brilliance. If you allow
Mm,
those things you want to create to be constantly lost under the busyness and the minutiae of everyday mundanity, you never actually get around to spending the time to work on those efforts that have the chance to actually get out there and connect with your audience.
mm, yeah. Um, and this comes again back to mindset and self-worth, and it's something I think possibly a lot of us with a bit ADHD struggle with as well, because we have been told from little kids, like, you need to choose a career. What are you going to do when you grow up? And it's always this one thing that we're going to focus on. And because you get told all the time, oh, you're always changing your mind. You're always changing your mind. You're never going to settle on one thing. And it's like it's a real put down. And maybe that's part of why, our self-worth is like, oh, yeah, I'll get to that, because, we don't feel like, um, this big idea that we had that we need to work on, even if it's a quiz, like it was goes, oh, no, I'll do that later, because it's, we try and sidestep ourselves all the time.
We do, we do. We put other people's expectations first, and
Mm,
we discount the things that are meaningful to us, definitely. So if there's someone
mm.
out there who's feeling paralyzed by that too many ideas and the wanting to do it all, what's one playful or unexpected exercise you'd recommend to start untangling the mess and zeroing in on a style or direction that feels both authentic and sustainable?
Oh, look, I think it's as simple as getting a big sheet of A2 paper, or even like as big as you want, really, and just writing all down, big brain dump. Like, write down all your ideas. You can be as colorful as you like, get out your pencils and your paints and whatever, and just Texas, whatever you want to use, just make it colorful and go, oh, this is a great idea and this is a great idea, and write out all the things. And having something in concrete form in front of you makes it so much easier to look at and go, actually, that idea is much more interesting than that idea. Because if it's all in your head, they're tumbling around all the time. And if the thing is with ADHD, like you focus on what's in front of you, right? So whatever's in your head at that moment, they go, that's a really good idea. But if you see that, idea A and idea B in front of you, you go, oh no, actually idea B is better. But while you're thinking of it and it's just in your head, you go, oh no, idea A, I've got to do that. And then idea B comes into your head, you go, oh, idea B is good. And so you both want to do them equally as much, but if it's down on paper, it makes much more sense.
Yeah, I'll never forget how one of the things I loved most about working with you is how supportive you were of my desire to, DIY a lot of aspects in the background and keep my finger in all of the creative pies as they were being done. But I'll never forget how powerful it was when we started working on the logo, and we developed the castle that I'd already got from Emma, and then we put the crossed keys and the arrow underneath it, and we reshaped the shield into the heart triquetras shape. And it was only once we'd played with those ideas and you'd given me things and I'd said, no, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. Oh man, I love that. And then, we went back and forth with that constant iteration. It was only then, looking at what we'd achieved after collaborating on that creative process, that I was able to really see how much symbolism it was. Like, and I sent you long emails that were unpacking, this means this, and this means this, and this connects to this part of me, and this connects to this. And there was the connection I feel to my logo and the joy I have in using it is massively enhanced by how much meaning is behind that. And it was only once we'd started that process of getting it out of my head and getting it into a format that we'd collaboratively created that any of that meaning became obvious. I just didn't know it was there until afterwards.
Yeah, I love the depth of meaning in all your branding. Yeah, it's really good. That's one thing I really enjoy working with is trying to pull out those ideas. And it's never just about making something pretty for me. It has to look pretty at the end of the day, of course.
Oh, if it's not pretty, it's not worth doing.
It has to bring, yeah, well, that's well, true. But yeah, it has to pull in other ideas too. It has to have something deeper.
Depth.
Yeah, yeah. And
Well,
like it was, yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say
going,
it's really
difficult.
I was working with a client recently, trying to create a logo for her, and she's saying, "Oh, I just want something like this." And I was going, "Oh, look," she's saying, like and it was really interesting too because she wanted something that was so generic. And I said, look, I kept on trying to pull in other ideas for her. And she's going, oh yeah. And then I did what she wanted me to do, like her initial generic stuff. And she goes, oh, that looks like blah, blah, blah. And I say, well, yeah, that's why I'm trying to pull you in this other direction. And yeah, like it was just such an interesting feedback from the client. When they got what they wanted, they decided that actually they didn't want it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it looked really boring.
Yes. Yes, you definitely want to, when it comes to your branding and your trademarks and the names you use and all of that stuff, you really want to be that unicorn in the field of ponies, not the needle in a haystack. Because you need that,
and it's
that identity to shine. The identity in your business's identity, but also your personality shining through in that identity.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, there's no point if you don't, because this is what the whole purpose of branding is. Like it's not about creating something that's just pretty. It's about creating a personality. It's those that you are remembered, that you stand out, that people go, I need a lawyer, but I'm really I'm very woo, like I don't know whether the lawyers, I know, Michelle will get me
Yeah.
because she loves it. That's right. This is what it's all about.
Yeah. So tell us about
Mm.
your new course, your 7 days to a standout brand, so you can build a brand your audience adores.
Well, this is yeah, so this is a new course. It's a short course that it's a DIY course. So and
Mhm.
I think the thing is like even if you already have, like you've been in startup for a while and you have a logo, and I don't suggest for a moment that's where you should start. I think there is a whole bunch of stuff you need to do that for. And so this course is aimed at helping you get through all that foundation stuff. If you start off with just a logo, you've just pulled something out of Canva and made that your logo, like you've got a tiny little business. Well, this course will help you actually get to the core of who you are and pull those ideas out of you and help you choose your colors and your fonts and create the brand keywords and get down to your whole personality. What are you standing for? And beyond the ideas of integrity and everybody goes, um, integrity is where it's at. But like I think if you don't have integrity, you don't have a business. Like you have to.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the key personality qualities that your brand should exude, like whether it's fun or whether it's seriousness or whether it's like it's about how you want your brand to feel. Like, what do your audience want to feel? Do they want to feel empowered? Like, what sorts of key qualities do you want to exude with your brand? So that's all of that, helping them hone in on all of that stuff and choosing the your assets to go with it. So your colors and your fonts and helping you create a logo on your own. So yeah, getting into a bit of symbolism there. So like it's just a
Sounds
like
like
a
fun.
little, yeah, 7-day course to even if you've been in business for a while, I think it will really help for people
Yeah.
to hone what they have.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mhm.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining me today for this little chat. It's been heaps of fun, and I look forward to us sharing it and helping more people think about, the importance of creating a consistent visual presence that then ties all of their intellectual property assets together and builds them into the body of work that is capable of becoming a legacy that deserves to live on well beyond, for your lifetime and well beyond.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we're changing the world, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when
We are.
we're building systems that are capable of changing the world, they do deserve to live on beyond us, and our IP is how we do that. Yeah, yeah, and as
Yes.
online businesses, we don't have all of those. We often don't have all of the assets that a traditional brick and mortar business might have. Like we don't have the stock in trade, we don't have the warehouses full of stuff, we don't have the shop front and everything else. And our business's wealth is in our creativity and the things we create that have that
Absolutely.
longevity to them. That's how we build a sustainable
That's right.
business. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Julie. I look forward to working with you long into the future,
You are
and I
so
hope
welcome.
that
Oh, yes.
um, this helps other people just begin to see how building that safe, sane, sustainable business begins with bringing through your personality and into your business's identity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michelle. And yes, we will work together for a very long time.
We shall. It's been a great pleasure.
Okay, great.